Hi, my name's Stephen Bulger. I'm the owner of Stephen Bulger Gallery and a co-founder of FFOTO.com. What I'd like to talk to you today is about a collection that's very close to my heart. It's something that I collect with my wife, Catherine Lash. At the time, we were interested in building a collection that talked about the early days of photographic history, especially in the first 50 years after its invention in 1839. There was a number of different processes that continued to improve the quality of photographs. And what we wanted to do was have a box that would contain an example of each one of these different types of processes. At the time, Catherine was photographing weddings, so we thought it might make sense to just concentrate our efforts on wedding photographs, authentic wedding photographs. So we source them in a variety of different places, whether auction houses, other galleries, junk stores, antique shops. And generally, we hope to pay less than $50 for every picture. Sometimes we have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars, which seems a little crazy to a lot of people, but once you start on a collection, there's always gaps. And if you find something that fills an important gap, you're basically willing to pay almost anything for it. And so on the wall here is a small selection of what we have. We currently have close to 600 photographs in this collection, ranging in dates from 1840s up until the present. So we've gone from daguerreotype to digital prints. There's a couple of processes that we're still looking for, namely a cyanotype would be great to find. And in terms of why we do this, again, it started as a simple idea, but you start to become an expert in whatever it is that you're collecting. And with collectors, they're not really interested, or they don't really care so much about how much something costs. They just care about how good it is. And so as an example here, that we have some photographs that range in value from probably $50 up to about $20,000. And when people come to see some of these pictures, they think, oh, I know exactly which one is 20,000. And usually they'll look for a photograph of like Marilyn Monroe or Princess Grace Kelly when she was getting married. On this wall, the most expensive one is a very small photograph taken by André Kertész in 1914 in Hungary. And it's a photograph that's about the size of a postage stamp. But the reason why it's worth so much is that he's one of the most influential photographers in the history of the medium. And it's the only wedding photograph that we have ever seen by him. It's a unique print, and it's over 100 years old, and it's in perfect condition. So that was something that we were, after seeing it, we were willing to save up money. And luckily, the owner, the estate of André Kertész, was happy to receive payments over about a year for us to slowly chip away at the payments until this photograph became ours. A lot of people might find it odd that a dealer such as myself has to rely on payment plans, but quite simply, like any collector, there's always more things that we want to buy that we can actually afford at any one time. And a lot of times it shows your commitment, and people that own the objects are always happy to see whatever it is that they have go to a good home. So if you're ever in a situation where you see something that you love and you really have to have it for some reason, don't be shy about saying what your position is and that you love the piece. It's a little more money than you've got right now. Is it possible to buy over time? And 99% you'll find people more than willing to accommodate your request. So after all this, I realized that I'm still probably one of the only people interested in collecting wedding photographs, but that's not really the point of what we're talking about here. The point is that there could be a subject that you're already interested in, whether it's dogs, whether it's world history, whether it's famous people, and there's a way to grow that interest by building a collection around that interest. And you'll find through FFOTO.com that there's a lot of partner galleries that are all photo geeks like me. And we love talking about any minute detail that you might have a question about of something that you're looking on at FFOTO.com. So if you do have a question, you can send an email to info@FFOTO.com. Ask any question you want. There's no bad question. We'll be happy to answer your questions that you might have. And if there's others that relate to the pictures that you saw on FFOTO.com. We'll also be happy to show you other examples. So please feel free to contact us.